Hello everyone, my name is Sakina Suley Ali and this is LMBC. LMBC stands for Let Me Be Creative, and it's a space for dreamers, doers, young creatives who want to turn their creativity into an actual career. This channel is all about real talk with real people. I'm going to be talking with everyone at every stage of their journey, from journalists to photographers, you name it. Stay tuned, subscribe, because we've got many episodes coming up. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Let Me Be Creative. Today we're going to be heading off to Selfridges to meet with Hansveni, Telegraph journalist and stylist, to learn about her journey, how she got from studying fashion journalism to now working at one of the biggest newspapers in London. Let's go! Guys, we made it. We're at Selfridges. Hansveni's going to be with us any second and we're going to get right in with the questions. Hansveni's here with us. So do you want to share who you are and what you do?
Well, I'm Hansveni. I am a journalist and a stylist.
Cool, nice. So let's make our way in. Our first question that we have with my trusty journalism notepad is, what does a normal day look like for you? Working in Telegraph, working freelance, what does that look like for you?
I mean, no day is the same, especially in freelance. You've got to have a lot of discipline because you could very easily do nothing all day. Honestly, I'm quite bad with it. I think I work till very late.
Well, sometimes you have to, at the beginning of a career, it's not always like trying to, when you say discipline, it's more discipline is in the sense of doing the work, but not really discipline like the structure. It's like I would happily work the whole day, especially if you love what you're doing. You don't work a day in your life, as they say.
Yeah.
LMBC is all about being creative. We can be creative literally at any point in our day, as we all know. So it's 11 a.m. In what ways have you been creative so far already?
Oh,
outfits,
goodness.
breakfast.
I think potentially outfit. I've got a new jacket on.
Should we do an outfit of the day? What are we wearing?
Outfit of the day. We are in weekday trousers,
Cool.
mango jacket. I've got a Susamoosa top underneath, and some Charles and Keith loafers and Gimmergrass at the back.
Yeah, so we both went for black and white. I'm also wearing loafers. I have my River Island loafers, wide leg jeans, blazer and a waistcoat. Let's keep it moving. What was your earliest memory with fashion and journalism?
Ooh, I mean, I think growing up I was I love making up little stories and making little magazines out of like post-it notes.
How would you describe journalism without using the words? Let's do writing, media and news.
I'd say it's an expression of everything going on around us.
My start with fashion was with family. So was there anyone in your family who kind of started your love for fashion or journalism? How did that help?
Honestly, no. There is no one in my family in fashion or journalism. It's a family of dentists and people in science. So it was quite scary going into this industry, especially as a South Asian. It's looked down on a little bit. So yeah, definitely a scary career to go into, but if you're passionate about it enough, you should always just do it.
And is it the same now that you're actually working? How have attitudes changed towards that?
Attitudes have changed a lot in my family. I think they're now seeing how passionate I am and how much I want it, that they just want me to be happy and, do what I love.
I just want to know a bit about you as a student. So you're an UAL alumni, LCF alumni. What type of student would you say you were, and how does that compare to the type of worker that you are now?
Oh, I loved uni. I've always loved school, so I was a typical try-hard student. I was at every lecture, stayed in the library till very late. And I think that has translated into my work life. I'm now a get up early, work till late worker. So yeah, I think it's definitely transferred over for me.
Is there anything you would have done differently at your time at uni and at creative uni? Because very different to normal unis. What advice would you give to people?
Take time for yourself. I think being someone that I wanted to get the best grades, I wanted to be top of my class. But I don't think I looked after myself enough. I think staying in the library till that late is always best. Go take time for yourself, go have a pamper evening, do things with your friends, like have fun. Don't just make uni all about the work.
Yeah. Like try on different clothes maybe, like experiment, like what better place to experiment than a fashion uni. So sometimes I'm a student myself right now, so putting in the effort, putting in the late night, sometimes you feel like you can't escape that. It's like, no, I don't have time for myself, I need to do my degree, especially when it comes to the final project. So how was your final project experience? What did you do and how was that?
I loved my final project. I created a magazine called Anther. It's a magazine aimed at creative South Asians in London. I mean, because I am my own audience, I felt so passionate about what I was creating. It did burn me out because, you know, I put absolutely everything into the project. I don't regret putting everything into the project, but again, I should have taken just a few days to myself, do my thing. It was an amazing experience. It made me realise why I went into journalism and why I want this so badly. If
you could put in like a sentence why you went into journalism, like what would be on like the cover line, how would you summarise that in a sentence?
Provide a voice for South Asians. Purely that. I grew up without like reading articles by people with South Asian last names. I didn't see them in the magazines that I was reading. I would love to be that person for even one little kid who's flicking through their mum's like magazines or whatever.
I think that's also like the power with being creative, that you have the autonomy to create your own narratives that you want. So you're able to do that with your final project. Do you feel like you're still doing that in your job now?
At the moment, in terms of the content, less, because you know, you're getting employed by someone to write articles for their audience, and the Telegraph's audience is not fellow South Asians. But I feel good knowing that, you know, when I've been printed, my name is on there and there's a South Asian name on there, and someone will read that and be like, she has a last name like me.
Yeah, I 100% agree with what you're saying, because sometimes existing is enough, like just existing and being a person, being in that room, and then someone else will be like, oh, she's there, maybe I can go, and before you know it, you have a whole community of people. So well done for starting. I just want to touch on something you said about sometimes it's kind of like a conflict between being a creative person but working in an organization where they have their own style, they have their own rules. How do you manage that?
You know, you can't always put all of your style into everything you do, because at the end of the day, you're working for this organisation. They stand for specific things, and you know, if you don't like that, don't work for them. But I also have a lot of other outlets that let me be creative and let me be myself. So I don't always feel the conflict because I have those other outlets, you know.
Could you describe what some of those outlets are?
I mean, sometimes it's through styling.
Okay.
Sometimes it's just writing my own thing. Like at the moment I'm working on just like a little blog for my website, just to put up things occasionally, and that again can be an outlet for more personal things and more things my style.
We're going to come back to the styling thing because that's something I'm really excited about, but let's continue seeing Selfridges and see what else there is. For our younger audience, maybe they just came out of college, what can they be doing right now to get into journalism?
Oh, internships.
Okay.
You've got to get some internships.
And how do you do that?
Contact as many, I mean, finding emails online is not hard of journalists.
We're naturally curious, we're quite nosy, but in your business.
And, you know, if you want to go into journalism, you should be able to find these people and email them at least, you know.
You need to be annoying, you need to be pestered.
You've got to be annoying, you've got to pester, and you're not being too much, you're not emailing them too much, don't worry. A lot of people just don't see the emails sometimes.
Okay, that's some great advice for younger students. If I was in college, I would definitely take your advice. What about the people on the other side of the journey? Maybe they've done a different degree, worked a different career, now they're like, actually, I want to be creative, like, I want to go into journalism, I want to go into fashion. What advice would you give to them? Or do you know anyone who has done that and what's their story?
Oh, interesting. I mean, I know it's the same advice I just gave, but again, internships, you can get them with no experience.
As you mentioned, you do styling,
Yes.
and that is something really cool, especially for journalism, because they kind of go hand in hand
Yeah,
together.
they do.
So how did you get into styling? Was it something you knew before? You didn't study it, so how did you get into
No,
that?
I didn't study it. So my first internship I ever got was at the Times, and they let me go on some shoots and assist with styling, and I absolutely fell in love with it. And then I have done it again on multiple internships since then. And yeah, I just fell in love with it and asked to start assisting more. And yeah.
So you were being very experimental. You're like, let me just try it, and just go
and I
for it in
think
the
you
moment.
so should, you know, don't just stick to writing. Try out as many things as you can. Like, you're still at uni, you're still so young. Do as much as you can right now. Even if you hate it, at least you know.
Yeah, and it's good to do things in the moment as well.
Yeah.
So we have a little exercise for you. In this moment, I need you to, we have the whole Selfridges store. Style me. Literally,
Style
I'm blank
you.
canvas. Style me
Okay.
anything that you'd like.
Perfect.
Let's go. Oh, what do you have for me?
Got the set.
Cool. Okay. So I'm gonna go try this on, and once I've tried this on, she's gonna look around and find some more accessories, and we're gonna get the styling aspect of this.
I'm super excited. So while I went off to get changed, Hansveni offers a quick sneak peek into what her styling process looks like. Let's check out what she has to say.
My styling process. There are some factors that obviously you want to consider, like your audience, who's this for, who's wearing this. But I'd like to sort of take out factors like age and gender, because realistically, you know, why do they matter? Like recently I did a shoot with the Telegraph, and we did a full like mesh fit on a woman a little bit older. And I just think, you know, why can't you be wearing a full mesh fit?
Okay, this is the look, guys. I absolutely love it, but this is not finished yet. She's about to do the styling magic. Let's see, how would you style this look? What would you add? How would you make this fit even better?
Let me have a look. I feel like I really like this bag. I'm really liking suede at the moment.
Like this.
Very cute. Some little flats.
Mary Janes are in.
I'm loving Mary Jane.
Yeah. And what would you see this look for? Where am I wearing this?
I think this is a like cute day-to-day spring outfit. You know, maybe you're getting a coffee with a friend or something.
Yeah.
I feel like it's quite practical, but looks very cute.
Yeah, I really love this outfit. This is something I would wear like as a journalist. I would maybe wear it to the office. As you said, go out with friends straight after. It works.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you so much. This is the last question we have for Hansveni. This is Let Me Be Creative. I just want to know, when do you feel most creative, and what does creativity mean to you?
So I live with 3 of my best mates, and 2 of them work in fashion, 1 of them is a musician. And being surrounded by that energy, you know, when we're all in the house, I think is when I feel the most creative. They really inspire me. And yeah, I think that just fuels me.
And how would you define creativity for yourself?
Creativity for myself. That's a hard one, because I think creativity comes in a lot of different forms. You could literally say you're being creative when you're making dinner.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, chefs can be creative
Anything
too, yeah.
I think that inspires you, you know, makes you happy, inspires you, and fuels a drive within you. I think that is being creative.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think everyone listening here too would all agree.
What a way to be creative, from writing to styling and being a voice for one's community. There was truly a lot to learn from today's guest. Why don't you comment your biggest takeaway, and make sure to subscribe to our channel to listen in on conversations with our next creative. See you there.